Edwin.
Yes, I was home. No, that's great. I mean, we do this every 2 years. So, like, it's much anticipated for those 2 years. And it's like, glad to be here. And then Sunday's kind of like, we're just be like, damn, I gotta go home. But yeah, it's been a blast. You guys are amazing. You guys travel from everywhere to come see us. We're really grateful. So it's awesome.
This is my first time Morphicon, so it's really wild to see all the answers. Thank you all for coming out. It's my fifth, but this has been a great weekend. It's been great. Perhaps we'll hang out with more stuff. But it's been great. Thank you guys.
We got another ranger coming
This is all memory or
obviously, like, there's a whole scope of rangers. Every sort of ranger, like, color sort of has their own sort of value to it. So what do you think it needs to be like a blue, a black, and green ranger? Like, what do you think is like a unifying factor for like that color? You know what I mean? Red's the leader, Pink's the girl, 6 rangers are the new kid, the new cool guy. Well, what does it mean to be like a blue, a green, a black? Amazing, for instance. I think they're one of very few, you know what I mean? Well, it's sort of describe that.
I'll mix black and green and move on camel. That'll be sick. Camel ranger, you know, army, you know, camel. Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, to me, it's like it's a team. One thing I liked about the Power Rangers from the beginning is that everybody had different strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
Right? So it seemed like Blue in the beginning was maybe, I don't want to say nerd, but like nerdy and smart, right? And then Red is the leader. So I would say it's almost like the brains.
Yeah.
The strategist, you know?
Yeah. I remember we got so many rangers coming. We got Mrs. Force Green over here. And Time Force Green. You know, just seeing some of the stuff. I remember there was a moment on the show where you were like, you know, because you started out as a leader, right? And then you sort of moved to like a secondary position, being blue, being like a strategist, like, you know, during like the Psycho Ranger arc. Remember where you came up with the plan to spray paint you all blue and stuff like that. I feel like TJ was always working to be like that sort of, you know, like the strategist, like the man in command when it comes to like combat and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Exactly.
First black leader.
First blue
Oh,
ranger.
yeah, that's right. He coined that. I like
Yeah.
that.
No, so if you could sort of speak to like being like a leader and then sort of stepping down and stuff like that, like how's
in my
that?
opinion, it wasn't. I think I always say the character TJ. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
What color he was, as long as he's still in the fight.
Yeah.
And I think, when they switched Steve Cardenas, it was a big deal, and his character was like, "What the heck is this?" type of the thing. But I think TJ didn't care. He was just like, "As long as I'm still in the fight, I don't care. What color it is.
No, of course.
Let's go after him." So.
But plus, how many Rangers can say they're red and blue and two helmets and all that? Because it's swag when right. So I mean, I think it's a blessing that when you go from one color to the other. It's like that's pretty cool. So yeah, TJ's always been a strong leader. Yeah, and he doesn't age. He looks exactly the same.
Definitely. Jorgito, you're Navy, right? So you're technically not really blue, and there's not too many Navy Rangers out there. You know what I mean? So like. In your mind, in sort of like the dynamic on the team, do you see yourself more as like a sixth? Do you see yourself taking that Blue Ranger role since like the Blue Ranger is really the girl on the team in your season? Like, where do you see yourself fitting in the team?
Well, the way we came in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was like with me and Adam, Hunter coming in, we were like our own team in the beginning, our little baddies.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Misguided, bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were misinformed. Let's put it that way. But eventually we come, on the terms and we join the team.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. Who doesn't love an evil ranger? You know what I mean? Like that's some of the best stuff in the show.
Well, yeah, back then it was like it was like you said, it was only been a few, maybe not many crimsons, right? So.
Yeah.
And they don't flock with the turkeys. It's awesome.
No, definitely. Do we want to open up to some fan questions, maybe? Anyone want to like line up and just sort of come over here and I'll bring you up so you can ask them yourselves.
This a guy.
Wait, you guys talk about it. I'll be about it.
Oh, we got another Blue Ranger, guys.
What the
Operation
heck?
Overdrive.
Oh my god.
Milos, you're just in the crowd, man. What are you doing up there? What are you doing?
It's the LA thing.
I'll field questions from here.
Everyone give it up for Overdrive Blue and Milo and dude, come up here. What are you doing, man?
Just enjoying the show.
We're hanging out.
It's just chill.
Oh Jesus.
It's a little crowded, but I'm happy to have you guys all here. This is awesome.
Crowded with Rangers is good.
No, that's all. There's nothing better, Or you want to come up and ask a question?
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is George from Orange County. I have a question for Solon. So it seems like you're probably the most, other than JDF, that has been all the reunion episodes. How does it feel to be the one to be asked to come back very often?
8, 9.
I always look forward to the
Jesus,
call, honestly. I love it. And one key point, I think, and I give the advice that if they do ever call you, you just say yes. That's it,
Don't do what Roger did.
See, Roger needs an entourage. He needs his own makeup artist. He needs a display. But I love it. Every time I'm coming back, I love it. I get a chance to be exposed to other fans, which sometimes they'll go back and watch our stuff because I want to know more about, TJ's story. So I think it's great, and as he said, it's just like more things we can talk about with the fans. So I love it every time.
Hi there, I'm Tucker. I'm from Portland, but you may know me as Mint Berry. I'm a YouTuber. Well, first of all, I moderated the Pink Ranger panel right before this, and dang, I'm a little jealous. Blue, Black, and Green Rangers represent. Y'all are all here. So my question is for Keith over there. Lightspeed Rescue is my favorite season, and I think on some Shout Factory behind-the-scenes interviews, some of your castmates were talking about you, and they were good things. They said that this is one of your Power Rangers was one of your first acting roles, and to go from that to if y'all didn't know, he sang at the Oscars with Beyonce. Wow. Tell me, how was that like? What was the journey like?
What was the Oscars like?
What was the journey like going from Power
The journey.
Rangers to that?
The journey was pretty. Looking back, it was pretty fast because Power Rangers was my first acting gig, which was kind of by accident. The audition was kind of like on a dare, believe it or not, because I was a musician first. So from there to Dreamgirls was like maybe like 4 or 5 years. So it was pretty fast. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was kind of an out-of-body experience being at the Oscars. You kind of don't want to look down until it's over because you don't want to mess up because it's a pretty girl beside you. She smells really good. But it was a blessing. I mean, it was fun. I mean, I think the further you get away from moments like that, the more you appreciate it. Just like Power Rangers, how iconic it is to be sitting up here with these guys, 25 years later. So it was a good thing. It was meteoric, and it was kind of the beginning of a career that I didn't really anticipate. So thanks to you guys. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. I love all of you.
Hey guys, it's Abram from LA. My question's for everyone, if that's okay. How would you guys write? I know for some of you guys, your characters have love stories, but I want to ask for everyone else, how would you write your romance for your characters? Because blue and green, sometimes black, there is a great romance story, but it never ends, or they hint at it, but they never move forward.
Miss Fairweather and I have several kids, but we're going through a divorce as we speak. But, we got 20 years out of the relationship, though. Just kidding.
I got what I think Blake and Tori, after running off into the sunset on the beach, they just made things work out. That's it. And then maybe they got that kiss that we never got to see.
Oh, yes.
I think Xander's
They
most...
should definitely go all Sunset Boulevard. Wait, not that movie. What was it called?
I think Xander's relationship, his most romantic relationship, was with himself. And he's still working on it, and hopefully he never breaks up with himself.
Oh,
We have a problem.
Thanks, guys.
At least you'll never get dumped.
I am getting in this line, even if it kills me. Wait, you know me?
So, but I also wanted to say that Lights to Rescue was my first season of Power Rangers ever. And arguably, Joel had the most character development of the Rangers, and I was kind of wondering what your thoughts on that were.
I think I kind of came to the audition with no expectations. I was probably at my rawest point. I was just kind of very charismatic and just open because I didn't really understand the process. And honestly, that sounds crazy, but I think they kind of fed off that and kind of developed a character based around how I already was. So it kind of played into my hands, just kind of not really having an expectation or being nervous about an audition, how artists get, because it was better, ignorance is bliss, I guess. So it kind of worked out that way. So Joel was just kind of like a charismatic, carefree guy, because when I came into the audition, I didn't have a headshot. I didn't even know what a headshot was. So I went to 1 hour photo, and at the time, I developed the photos with the Kikos and came back in with like a glossy and laughed their asses off. And they actually helped me get and I've been trying to get back to that space of not caring, and I can't get back to that space anymore because now I do it. So I think your first audition, first impression is really what you guys kind of agree.
Hey guys, I got a hypothetical situation, group question for all of you, okay? I want you to imagine you find out that they are making the next Power Ranger movie based on the show that you were on, Newcastle. Who do you see playing your character in this reboot movie?
Myself.
I guess you can see it.
Jesus.
I'd have to think about a 10-year-old who would play my role. As young Billy, I don't really know too many 10-year-old actors. So.
Well, you usually cast like a 13-year-old and just make it look a little shorter.
Go with young Samuel L. Jackson. 24 years old.
I think Steve Cassini would do a good job, probably a better job than I did. You might have to age Zibby up a little bit, but I think he's got the chops to pull it off.
guess this is young man on Morphicon. Every time I look like or something. Oh, say that guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. If they're down to do Forever Blue.
Thank you.
My question is specifically for Richard. I just wanted to know what it was like to film the episode where Xander slowly turns into a tree.
Oh, you would bring that up. You would bring that up.
I was in the chair for 3 to 4 hours in the morning, especially for when I turned fully into a tree and I couldn't even eat. And I just had to drink soda through a straw, which Vito fed me. So we bonded in the story and we bonded as friends shooting that too. So it's really special.
Hey guys, my question is more for the Greens on the panel. How did it feel being more like innocent or more comedic for your team?
Oh, that was a good one.
Any Green.
Any Green.
Yep.
I mean, I think Trip was definitely the comedic relief, and he was also the heart of the team, I'd like to say. So it was nice to have that responsibility and just kind of, I think it helped the cast also mesh well. It was a beautiful experience.
Still for anyone.
Can you repeat the question?
What was it like for Green Rangers to be like the comedic relief for their team, or like the more innocent one?
Oh, it was awesome. We had bloopers, so that was pretty cool. At the end, right? We had bloopers. Yeah, anytime you can share your comedic side, it's great. I love it. So it's because it's so a lot of times intense and fighting and this, so just kind of like make it a little fun and have fun with it is awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of you guys have like a lot of strong comedic roles. I mean, like Ziggy especially. I remember being a child and finding him to be hilarious, man. Dax obviously too was very zany and weird. Maybe not like that green, typical Blue, but taking on that like sort of lighthearted nature. What was it like? Like, what was it bringing to those roles? Like that sort of like zany, like all over the place type of personality. You know what I mean? Either you could speak to that.
So is that? Excuse my ignorance. Is green usually comic? Is that the way? And then blue?
Typically, sometimes, most of the times, but blue, there's not really like a comic relief
People
Blue.
were like, Dax, man, he's always so funny, and you're blue. I'm like, what? Like, I can be funny in blue, can't I? But I heard the Japanese version of that year, Operation Overdrive's year, it was really cool, that Blue Ranger, and then I had to be this kind of zany comic guy, and it's a beautiful thing when people come up and go, I was with you, man, I was with you. I was like, and then like other people go like, Dax, I think you get a hard time, it's like, I love that backhanded comment of like, man, you're okay. No, but it's great, I love Dax, I loved getting out there and doing creative things, and I just went for it. It was just like, nuts.
That was awesome. Yeah, Milo, did you have anything to add? Or just like, what'd you bring to like Ziggy? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that was a very all over the place type of character. Especially going to like being in love with Dr. K and your relationship with Black. You know what I mean? Like that lighthearted nature, sort of like the levity to this very like dark series. Like could you speak to that for a second?
It was a relief because I couldn't have played a Scott Truman, a Red Ranger character. I would have been awful. Same as Black. So, and those guys had to hold down the like, we're gonna kick your ass. And I just can't do that. No. So honestly, I was like, thank God I got this character because otherwise this would have been a real tryout. So yeah, honestly, it was similar to what these guys have said. It was maybe a bit more creatively free, a bit more you could show a bit more of yourself. So it was sweet.
Okay, finally. Hey guys, it's me, Malcolm. I have a question for all the Blue Rangers. Will you ever be into doing Forever Blue?
So for you guys who don't know, Forever Red is like the one where every single Red Ranger came back. Selwyn, you were in that, right? Yep. Every single Red Ranger came back. And so would you ever come back for like a Forever Blue, maybe even Forever Green or Forever Black or anything like that? What would you think?
Always ready to put the suit back on.
Always ready.
I'm in, waiting for the call.
Thank you for the question, man.
Bang.
Hey guys, my name is Austin from Houston, and I feel like the public should know I am the son of Joel Rollins and Angela Fairweather.
My son.
Dad, Mom misses you, man. Come on. Listen, so I was wondering, have y'all thought about where your characters might be at this point in time now? If so, where would they be? What are they doing now?
Joel and Miss Fairweather?
Any of y'all?
Oh.
I mean, we know y'all are going for a divorce now, so.
You guys got the backstory.
Have you had a chance to watch Blood Under the Grid?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's what Carlos is at, I would say. Yeah. He's a hitman. Yeah, for the good though.
I think Ziggy is helping run a preschool with Dr. K, but I think on the side, maybe he's opened a little sandwich restaurant, little subs and sandwiches place. I like to think of him doing that.
Okay. I appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you.
Hey guys, out the hair loose. Hi, my name is Avi. I'm from New York. Quick question I want to ask you is, what were your favorite scenes and what were your least favorite scenes? Like scenes that you look back and you wish you could have done better, or scenes that were really, really hard to do?
On this side, I don't work over there. For me, I guess would be my first morph with that JD. Just being beside him. Back then, we used film. There was not like the digital cameras that you can just shoot all day and shoot all day. And I remember one time when we have our mark, and he's beside me, and we run up, and I'm like, I turn to this little kid that's just like,
Oh, man.
and all of a sudden in the back you hear, cut, Jorge, stop smiling at Jason, look forward, be a hero. I think I blew like 2 takes of film, just because I was like, I was like a little kid when those things actually, the dream was happening, right? So that still is probably one of my favorite. And I mean, there's no bad scenes.
No bad scenes?
Yeah, I can't do a scene that regret about it. You know what I mean? You kind of leave it on the film, or in this case on the digital card.
And Milo, your turn.
Okay, the worst scene was when we were stuck in that Goenja camper all day, sweating. It was just we all hated each other that day.
You mean when you were traveling to a different city?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. It was a rough day for everyone, and it sticks out because there wasn't a lot of those. And the best thing, we had a lot of fun doing the behind the scenes episode, honestly. That was super fun. It was nice to have some, talking directly to the camera. It was unusual, felt different, felt a bit...
Do you still ride that scooter from the behind the scenes?
I wish I had that scooter. That was sick. It had a little covering so he could ride the scooter in the rain. That was awesome.
Ride a moped? Can you?
I'm a bad moped driver. I wouldn't trust me on a moped.
All right, Kevin, your turn. Favorite and worst
I mean,
scenes?
I always bring up Movie Madness is probably the best, most fun. I mean, I got to, yeah, I mean, it's such a memorable, 2-episode. You got to ride a horse. I mean,
Was
got
that
to be
actual
on.
Orlando that you were in, like the water scene? Was that actual Orlando?
What's that?
Was that Universal Studios you guys were in?
Oh yeah, we filmed
Yeah,
that.
I noticed that too.
Universal Studios. I mean, it was really an awesome fun. Just wonderful memories.
And least favorite scene?
What's up?
Least favorite scene that was wish you could do better?
I don't know if this is really a scene. I just remember. I guess maybe the end, just knowing the season was coming to an end. It was everyone was like, it was all pretty emotional.
I always cry when I watch the end.
What's that?
I always cry when I watch the end. Yeah. All right. Keith, your turn.
Thanks, Tom.
Repeat the question for me, sir.
Favorite scene and least favorite scene. By least favorite, I mean like a scene that could have been better.
A scene that could have been better?
Yeah, like you done that scene, look back at it and say, it could have been better.
I mean, there's a few of those when I look back at my early acting days. I don't know about better. I mean, that's kind of hard. I mean, I can tell you some favorite scenes that I have that stuck out. I love when we turned evil, and I
I got to go whiteface, and they made my face white with makeup, is what I mean. And I got to kind of rough up to Miss Fairweather and some of the guys in the base, if you guys remember that. I love the explosion part when I pulled Miss Fairweather's brother out of the Volkswagen and it exploded. That was awesome. That was my first time ever really being around an explosion. I had always seen it on TV, so to see it actually being done was cool. I think my least favorite scene was the finale where we had to swim under when we were swimming out of the base when it was being.
You were actually swimming?
That was actually us. That was probably the hardest shooting day of my life. I probably still have not had a harder shooting day than that because we were underwater for 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night, and they'd let us fall asleep and they'd wake us back up like they were hazing us. So it was very, very tough, and and then I had to drive home. I almost drove straight to SAG.
Oh man! Can I just point out?
Yeah, that was memorable.
Can I just point out? Does all the government tax-paying money really go to Lightspeed Rescue?
Of course it does.
So we're paying taxes all going to Lightspeed Rescue for real?
Yeah, I guess so, man.
So now that it's gone, what are we paying it to now?
Just make sure you vote.
Okay.
All right.
Captain Municipal President.
Exactly.
All right.
Or Joel.
Okay. Gary, your turn. Favorite and least scenes?
I don't know if I can answer from the perspective of having watched them and going, oh yeah, I like that scene, or that scene could be better, because I don't know if I've watched the whole thing, so I don't know if it'd be accurate. But from a shooting perspective, favorite scene was I think we're meant to be in Egypt in like the catacombs, and I think we shot it in an old military base somewhere in Auckland. I remember there was a big vault, and I remember it was just a really fun scene to shoot because me, Caitlin, Rhoda, and James and Sam was sort of throwing in a comment here or there. We're just constantly arguing about whether Maroon 5 was cool or not. And it was a very boisterous argument. It was very good, and you know, would finish a take and be straight back with, what about that song? That's not cool. Yeah. And the other song, oh, that's really cool. So it's like, you know.
And least favorite scene? Like a scene that could have been better?
A scene that could have been better. Well, there's actually a scene which I think it was the second week of shooting, and I had to run past. It was a stunt scene. I did a front roll, and a lava lizard came in the shooting and kicked me in the eye, and I blacked out and got concussed.
Wow.
And it was I felt super ill. They took me off set for a bit. I had double vision. I was seeing two things. And then they drove me to the doctor to get an X-ray. The X-ray was inconclusive. And then they took me back to set. And then that night, I went to blow my nose and something went pong, and my whole eye went like that. And I made a call and said, I don't know if I could shoot tomorrow because it's not looking good. And they said, just come to set.
Wow.
I didn't have a day off, and they just shot me from this side of my face for the rest of the
That sounds like Power Rangers.
And then it wasn't until we had the break at Christmas, and I went home to Australia, and they did a CAT scan finally, and the doctor freaked out and was like, the floor of your eye is blown out. You've got a 1-inch hole underneath your eye. Your eye could demask at any point, fall into your head. We're going to take you straight to surgery.
Wow.
And so he put me in with the surgeon. The surgeon looked at me and went, well, it's sort of healed. Your body's compensating. If I go in there now, like if I got you in the first week, I could have, got the floor of your eye, put it back into place, the bone, but now I have to screw in a mesh floor, and you won't be able to shoot. So, so I didn't do it. And to this day, I've got a hole, but my body's keeping my eye on my face, which is really
so
good.
painful. Wow. Wow, a lot of respect for you, man.
Yeah, that's how good Disney take care of you.
I don't know why Watch Mojo doesn't like your character. You know Watch Mojo?
Sorry?
Do you know Watch Mojo, the top 10 YouTube channel?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh yeah, well it's a top 10, and Watch Mojo made a list of least favorite Power Ranger characters, and you're on that list.
Thank you for telling me.
Are you kidding me?
Why is that? Oh my god.
Whoever made that video should burn in hell.
That's silly though.
Yes.
That's a silly thing. Give it up for him, my man. Come on. Who loves him? That's a silly thing.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Yeah, the rest of you guys have stories from the set, you know? Best favorite scenes, least favorite scenes, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Young Billy.
Dad, your turn.
This is digging far into the memory banks. You know, at the time I was a fifth grader, and I was just happy to be out of school on set, which was a lot of fun. But one of the scenes I remember was the police station where Julia played Catherine was on the shoulders of I forget who, but she was acting like my mom picking us up from the police station, and that was a fun scene to shoot. The scene that I remember having a hard time with, or at least just as a 10-year-old being annoyed, was there was a water park scene where the Alien Rangers showed up in the beginning of season 3, and we were like trying to figure out who they were or where they were from, and so we were like touching their faces and they were touching our faces, and we were all kind of feeling around, and it was a little weird, but that was kind of how we got to know who they were, and vice versa. So
It's like a really weird scene. I
a little weird, yeah. But
also adult kid.
right.
That's a pretty lot of questions.
That probably wouldn't happen in a show now. Yeah.
Roger, what about you, man?
It's because we're kind of trained not to kind of like scrutinize our own scenes and stuff, so we don't really do that. But I do remember my life being in danger a lot of times. But there's this one time that we climbed a scaffold. You remember? It was like in Turbo. It was with bees. There was a beehive there, and tons of bees. We had no harness. It was really high, and I felt like I'm gonna die for sure. And if OSHA found out, dude, they'd shut us down. So I would say I don't want to do that ever again. So that for sure sticks out. And then best scene, I'd say there was so many, but when we shot in downtown LA and we revealed that we were the Power Rangers or whatever, and it felt like kind of end game scene. Do you guys remember that? I would say that was exhilarating. Yeah, that was dope.
My favorite part was the end when you guys transformed.
What was that?
The end part when you guys transformed.
Yes.
All the people were like, no, we're all Power Rangers.
We're on the roof. Yeah, we're on the roof. See, remember? Yeah, we're on the roof up there. I come back with my haircut and whatever.
And can I just say, I loved how your accent was in the way when you said Quadro Blaster. You said Quadro Blaster.
Oh my God, I noticed that too.
Well, growing up in LA, you pick up like some slang and stuff like that, and then you come on set, you're like, oh shoot, I gotta be proper. I actually had a dialect coach on set on Turbo, and then that's why the accent kind of goes away as I cruise into space. So I literally had a dialect coach on set for that. Yeah, and we cleaned it up.
What country?
Country what?
Where you're from, where your accent is from.
Oh, I'm Mexican, first generation here.
Oh, that's good.
Work.
Favorite scene, it's more sentimental to be honest, but the first day of shooting, me and Patty were doing a scene. We were with the Jeep, I think, but it was the very first scene that we shot on set, although we don't shoot in order. It was the first scene, but after the end of the first take, the crew clapped for us.
This was Turbo or in space?
This is Turbo.
Turbo, okay.
So the very first, so the crew and everybody just clapped for us. It was like a warm welcome. So that's one of my favorite moments on set. It's just like getting welcome to a team, especially when you had such, a big team that just left. And then least favorite, did I tell you about the time I was baked in a giant pizza?
How was that the least favorite? But how? But how was that the least favorite though? How?
No, how what?
How was that the least favorite?
Because it wasn't comfortable.
Your turn, Richard. You're the last.
I was going to tell a story about my own eyes, but after that story, nothing's going to top it. It's just basically, we had to look into the sun all the time for the monsters and just basically eyeball the sun, and you'd end up with red eyes every day and just closing your eyes. So I told you I wouldn't compare. And my favorite scene was probably when I got to talk to Nick about fitting in and how he was having a hard time, and I got to as my character tell him about how hard it was coming from Australia to the US and trying to fit in and make friends. And it was fun as a new actor on a TV show and being able to draw on my own experience with that, being at school and feeling like I wasn't fitting in, and it was a moment where I felt like I could dig into my own world and bring that into acting, and that was important for me, and yeah, it was a good day.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. And I gotta point out, you and Faraz really look alike brothers. You really look alike.
Oh my God.
And I also want to point out, he is the first Arab Red Ranger. The very first one.
Very true.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
Nice question, man. Thank you guys for
Here you go.
One last thing. Who was in the Phantom Ranger suit?
You never know.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Cassie's boyfriend or something.
Who was in that one?
That's some future episodes.
Hello, everyone. With a robot.
Yep. Name's Kellen from St. Louis, Missouri. So my
Ooh,
question
work.
for anyone to answer, of all the fight scenes you guys have done and trained, which one would you say is your one favorite?
Good question.
Any like fight sequence, fight scene, your one favorite?
Yeah, any like fight scenes where you walked away and you're like, man, I really did something out there. You know what I mean? Because you guys trained really hard to like do like civilian fights
I'll just
and
give
stuff like that.
Who's this for?
Any of you guys, yeah, anyone who wants to
I'm just
ask a
trying to be
question.
quick. So two come to mind, really quick. Movie Madness. Movie Madness was awesome.
Yes.
Just like the bar scene when I get like peanuts in my nose, you know, and like it was just so cool. It was just so fun. And then probably the first like explosion scene was really cool. That was like right outside of the FITM building, and like we had like a whole bunch of like those. There were lots of pyrotechnics, and you could just feel the heat. It was pretty badass. So sorry.
I gotta second that. The explosions were a lot of fun.
Good question.
Nice job, man.
Hey guys, how you doing? Keith, fellow Keith, how you doing? Hey man. Honest for Roger. As a fellow Latino, how does it feel to be like the first actual pure Latino to be a Power Ranger? And how do you represent for pretty much every Latino around the world?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it wasn't really highlighted or the way it should have been.
Respect.
I mean, 20-something years ago, we didn't, now we have like Catwoman and, all these, ethnic superheroes. So not only be the first real Latino on the show, but also to have the first black Red Ranger on the show, that should have made some noise, you know what I mean? Are you kidding me? Like, that was some flavor, you know what I mean? But honestly, I think it should have been highlighted a lot more. So it was my honor to do that. I didn't know that I was going to fill in those shoes. I know I was filling some huge shoes, Johnny Bosch. But yeah, so an individual called me one day and said, "Hey, I want to do a documentary on you, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "Okay, what? For what?" And then I said, "Just come to the Warner Bros. Studios, I'll talk to you." And I said, "Okay." And so I went down there and I talked to a guy and he goes, "What are we doing?" He goes, "Well, you were the first Latino, Power Ranger, in Salwin, and this is huge. This is a big deal." And I guess that's kind of when it started really resonating. Yeah, so I didn't see it that way. And then, by the way, we ended up doing the documentary. But yeah, man, it was a big responsibility now that I think about it. I'm just happy that I just gave it my all because I wasn't really thinking about that.
You did a great job.
Thank you, bro. But that's just the way I operate. If you're gonna do it all the way. If not, don't do it. So hopefully I represented us
100%. That's my favorite series outside of MMPR, and you guys by far have the best theme song in the history of Power Rangers. Sorry guys, I'm sorry.
Thank you, man. It was an honor.
Also, real quick.
Okay, no more questions from you.
Zola Maridueña
No more questions
is
from you.
from Cobra
Thanks.
Kai. Zola Maridueña from Cobra Kai. That's who you would look like from the previous question.
I keep hearing it, but
I'll show you.
I refute that
He's got long
comment
hair,
about
too.
the theme song. I refute that
Thank you,
comment.
man.
Time Force is pretty up there, dude. Come on.
I apologize. It is.
Let's be real here, bro. Come on. I'm just kidding.
That guy.
His hair, that guy. I guess this one's just kind of a speed round for anybody who wants to answer. So there have always been some really cool team-ups throughout the entire Power Ranger series, all of them.
Mhm.
So what one Ranger, if you could, from any series, who would you team up with?
Ooh.
I can say something.
I mean, don't answer all at once.
I got mine with
Yeah, bring it.
crossover with Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder, right? So I would probably stick with that team. Probably. And then any one of these guys up on the table.
Yeah, I'm about to run with the Forever Red team up,
Got to, you know,
That's
fight with
quite
it.
the opportunity. That would have been
Exactly,
something
yeah.
else.
I mean, I think my team up was pretty sick. I mean, again, I teamed up with a legend. You know,
my favorite team
Adam,
today,
Johnny
yeah.
Bosch. He's still huge. You know, he's awesome. He was a great mentor. So that was awesome. But rest in peace, JDF, and for sure I would want to do a team up with him at some point if he was around. God bless him. And Austin. Yeah. I think I just met the guy. I've been around him so many times, and I met him 2 years ago or something. We were at a convention, and I was like, yeah, I'd do a team up with you. So I think that's who I would pick.
Nice question, man. That was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi, I actually have a question for Richard. So your season has a lot of influences on fantastical elements. Obviously, Mystic Force, it's one of the first seasons to kind of deviate from the typical just ninja fighting and stuff. And most people talk about it as in Harry Potter, but I also found that Buffy the Vampire Slayer had a lot of influences, and your character Xander also looks exactly like Xander. So was there any influence on your end with Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I've never thought about that, and nice compliment. I appreciate it. I'll take that. I've never watched Buffy, to be honest, or Harry Potter.
It's true. I asked him that 2 years ago.
So maybe I'll have to. I was flicking through the movies on the plane on the way here, and I got 15 hours on the way home, and there's about 100 movies, so maybe I'll get through 3 of them.
I was so disappointed that you didn't know Harry Potter.
Hi, my name is Etin, and I'm from San Bernardino. My question is for Trip. So you got to work with Circuit, or the voice of Circuit. What was it like, working with Circuit?
Like the puppet, the owl?
Yeah.
He never hit his mark. So
Oh, yes.
he's very difficult to deal with.
How can I forget?
No, I'm just messing. It was fine. I mean, it was a robotic owl, so it just blinked its eyes and flapped its wings,
Did you ever?
and then it kind of then they like CGI it and stuff like that. All the movie magic in the background. So
Did you ever think that Trip built Circuit?
what's that?
Did you ever think that Trip built Circuit?
Yes, for sure, 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for the question. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Aaron from Mesa, Arizona, and my question to those of you that had vehicles for Zords is, would you take it out for a joyride, and how would you feel about it?
Oh my god.
So my vehicle was a shark with wheels.
Oh my god.
And I wouldn't feel safe taking that on, thank you, on any public road. So I'd probably say I'll leave that to the other rangers.
Yeah, I think my vehicle was shaped like a leg, right? It's like a left leg. It could have been a right leg. I don't know, but yeah. So I'd pass.
Oh, double pass.
I think I would cruise around in mine down Sunset. Nice little sunset, me and Miss Fairweather in the good days.
I was going to say, you are the Sky Cowboy, so I imagine you take that thing around. You're the Sky Cowboy.
Yeah.
So would you do any crazy Sky Cowboy stuff in that?
What'd you say?
Would you do anything Sky Cowboy related in that? The big jet, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would I take the jet out?
Yeah, man.
Oh, for sure. Definitely take it. He said a big, but yeah, I definitely take the jet out. That'd be the first choice. So we'll combo it up.
Yeah, Lightning Cruiser was a Camaro, and I'd definitely take it for a ride.
Yeah, my Desert Thunder? Yeah. That was sick. For sure, I'd take that for a ride, but I think I prefer the hang glider. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Hello. I gotta say, it's really surreal to see you all in person. I've only ever seen you on screens, so I can now confirm that you all physically exist. I wanted to ask, when you guys got your roles and you found out what color you were, did you have any sort of feelings about it? What was your reaction?
I personally wanted blue, so when it came through, I was like, yeah, I got my color right. But, you know, that being said, everybody wanted red.
I knew I was auditioning for blue. When I was a kid, I kind of looked like David, so I think it made sense. Yeah.
I was like, give me pink. No, Roger, you're gonna be green. You can't do pink. I'm like, okay, I'll do pink. I was just happy I was on the show. We at first didn't even know, right? We found out very late. I know there's rumors around that people thought I was Red Ranger or whatever. I was like, just Power Ranger, let's roll, let's do this, like. And then it was green, and I thought it was great. Like, it was awesome. I wouldn't change it anything for the world.
Yeah, same with him. I think all of us at some point would love to be a superhero, right? So just being able to do that and have a job being a superhero is amazing. So, you know, I just think we're just excited, you know, to get the job.
Yeah, I used to fly around in my living room from like couch to couch thinking I was Superman. Yeah, and I was like, put a towel. This is a true story. I put a towel, clip it on, and I fly around everywhere. So then I'm like, man, I'm a superhero now, but I'm getting paid. So like, this is freaking cool. So yeah, that was awesome.
Definitely. Thank you, man. That was an awesome question. Thank you. We got our last question right here.
Yep, last one.
Hey guys, I'm Steven. Question
That's
for
a
Justin.
good thing
and Billy.
though, because
Correct
you'll
me
have
if I'm
10
wrong, 'cause
minutes.
It's been a while, but Billy was the one kid character that actually grew up like quicker than the rest of the Rangers. Was there any animosity or like disappointment in your time as a
That's
kid
right.
Ranger?
I got shorted.
Yeah, like all the other, like, or did you get to hang out on set still and just be like, well, I'm just gonna hang out here and watch you guys and have off of school?
You know, at the time, I had no idea what was going on. I knew I was going to be in 2 or 3 episodes, and then David was back on set, and I didn't really understand why, and then all of a sudden we were filming a scene together, and then I was done. So, no, it was fun while it lasted, honestly. I mean, I think I did 3 episodes in total, and I just embraced it at the time. It was, you know, I was like a deer in the headlights. I was a huge fan of the show. All my friends in school were a huge fan of the show, so the fact that I got to be on set at that age, I was having the time of my life. So no animosity at all. It was just a total blast. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of time left. I know they typically like to end these with morph sequences. I know it's been a minute for a lot of you guys, but can any of you think you'd be able to do a morph for us real quick? What do you guys think?
Yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. 1,000 times.
You got
Yes.
this, man. No, you got this, man.
No, you have to stand.
I don't know. You guys are going to need something. Like this, right? Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yes, rescue. You throw out the jacket, right?
Right.
It ends with your hands here, I think.
Here? Well, that's when we go to the shield.
Yeah, you flip out the thing, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're here. Right? Is that it?
Yeah, I think you got it. Got it, Keith. Okay.
You did it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Jorge, you go first.
Ready? Ready. Thunderstorm. Ranger storm. Ha!
Marcelo, Roger, you guys want to do this together?
Yeah, yes.
Ready? Get in gear.
Thank you, Andrew. All right.
Okay, Kevin, your turn.
Time force.
Okay. Garrett, your turn. You still remember? You don't remember your own.
Ready. Overdrive. Accelerate.
I use my phone for this.
Yes, do it, baby.
Ready. Magical source. Mystic force.
Marcelo, Roger, you guys want to go again with a turbo maybe this time?
No. Y'all crazy. Y'all know that? But I love you.
All right, right, well, guys, thank you so much for showing out to the panel. It was a ton of fun. All right. Next up should be the, I believe, Jungle Fury panel in here.
By the way, everybody, my family just got here.
For the yellow.
Can you say hi? Hi, guys. They just literally just got
I think that's about enough. I have to turn this off and I have to charge this.
Forever Yellow is